social entrepreneurship effort from Brenau University. And it is actually a result of the Sullivan Foundation retreat that we went to in October 2011. And we learned a lot. So we came up, when we identified problems in our community, this is what we came up with. A key mission of Brenau's mission is to prepare students to lead extraordinary lives. So we've taken that, and that's what we're trying to project onto the communities. And we want to make an impact on these children's lives. So the vision of RISE is to eliminate summer learning loss in 1st through 3rd grade low-income children, but eventually to turn that summer learning loss into a learning gain. We don't just want them to retain knowledge, we would like them to progress. My team members are Jalissa White and Zora Dust. We have 2 more back at Brenau who couldn't be here today. My name is Iben Nielsen. The cost of poverty. This is what we saw in our communities. Low-income children are 12 times as likely to stay in poverty. That translates to when low-income individuals reach the age of 22, 36% of them have not graduated high school yet, whereas for middle and upper income peers, that number is 3%. Also, this is a loss of tax dollars for our community, Hall County, Georgia, and that is because if you do not have a high school degree, you earn a lot less than if you had that. And the unemployment rate is a lot higher if you don't have for every degree you earn, the unemployment rate is lower. And this translates into the community. Also, there's an increased demand for social services. So we have a healthcare system that is absorbing a lot of the cost because low-income families do not have healthcare or insurance. They can't pay for it. So our medical system is absorbing a lot of the cost. And we have housing units, and the school system also is providing free lunches or reduced price meal lunches for our students in the county. The pilot project that we're launching this summer is an 8-week program for 24 kids, and it's an interactive and health-oriented summer camp. We have 4 education majors and 3 youth camp counselors that are helping us to do this, and we're focused on these components because that's what we see the problem is for children to not be able to escape poverty. We are also taking field trips to local sites so that the children learn where they come from and what they can do with minimal transportation costs. We're focused on this age group because early intervention is key. You cannot expect to make a large impact if the children are already lost in the system. So we're focused on the 1st through 3rd grade because the support system is there from the beginning and then adds up. So that will have the longest lasting impact. The really unique feature of our summer camp is that we're bringing camp to the children. We're not bringing children to the camp. And we're doing that for 2 reasons. One is that low-income families are not able to send children to camp as a lot of other families are because of the cost of camp and the transportation to get there. Also, though, we want them to have a positive feeling of where they're living, their community and neighborhood, and there's a lot of resources right where they're living, and we want them to be able to utilize those resources throughout the year so that they don't have to think they have to go somewhere else to do things. And that's what we're focused on. After this initial year, our pilot project, we are looking to expand. We will be looking to add sites, but also to add more children per site. We have 24 children this summer, but we'd like more children at each site so we have a larger impact on our entire community and families living there. So the way of scaling this is either through INC, an interactive neighborhood for kids that I'll tell you more about later, or a franchise option that we're still considering which one to do. We identified 3 problems in our community, and that was learning loss, poverty, and the lack of healthy lifestyles. And the poverty, the learning loss is you lose what you learned over the summer. And most children do this. It's just that middle and upper income children are able to go to camp and have structured activities such as sports where they are able to retain their knowledge throughout the summer. And low income children are not usually able to do this. So they lose an equivalent of up to 2 months of reading, writing, and math skills, which is a big disadvantage when you start school back in August. Also, that feeds into the poverty. We have a fifth of our children living below the poverty line in Hull County. That's reflected in that 61% of our students in schools are eligible for free and reduced lunches. That's a great program throughout the school year, but once you hit summer, those children don't have that support system of getting a nutritious meal in the summer. When you don't have that, you can't be learning either. You can't be active like children should be because you don't have the energy to do that. And if you don't have the energy to do it, you can't learn. So the lack of healthy lifestyle is a result of these things. If you don't have the food, you have a paradox of obesity and other healthcare problems. And children from low-income families gain weight 3 times as fast as other children, but they gain as much weight during the summer months as they do through an entire school year, whereas the summer months is a quarter of a year. So having that problem, not having enough food, and then being at a disadvantage because you couldn't learn, that's a major problem for Hull County and other communities throughout the nation. We identified a lot of agencies and partners in the community that we thought could help, and we have talked to the Jordan Mountain Food Bank, and they have committed to contributing 2 healthy snacks and 1 lunch every single day for every child throughout the entire camp, so that we can make sure that the children at least get a meal 5 days a week when they're at our camp. Also, we are partnering with the Gainesville City Schools. They are providing data about the children to us so that we can measure if we have an impact on them. They're also giving us comparison data of students that did not attend our camp so that we can compare the data to their peers and see if we had an impact that way. Gainesville Housing Authority is really our key player. We are hosting the camp at their main location in Gainesville, and they have classroom facilities, a computer lab, and a fitness playground, and we are able to use all of these on a daily basis throughout the summer. Also, though, they've been helping us with registration and identifying the children for the camp, and they've given us a cash donation to buy the materials and the equipment that we need to make this the best possible outcome for the children. INC is the Interactive Neighborhood for Kids, and they are a site in Georgia that is a place where children go and learn. It's an interactive and fun place where the children don't really realize that they're learning, but they're using all the skills that they learn in school. So they have been very helpful with developing our curriculum to make it the best we can. Also, they have a toy library where we can go and borrow toys, and it's not just toys, it's a lot of materials, and you can have them for 2 weeks at a time. So we bring them to the camp, we have them for 2 weeks, all the children have the possibility to interact and use these materials and toys, and then after 2 weeks we go back, we have a whole new set of toys and materials that the kids can then use. So we're trying to keep this a fun, not classroom experience, but a fun and summer experience where the kids want to come every day and they want to participate and do these kind of things because it is a lot of fun. THINK is a boy to manhood initiative in Hull County, and it's single parent household children, young men that have THINK provides a support system for them where they are more likely to stay in school and they can reach their potential. And these young men live in the community themselves, and we are able to tap into them this summer because they have skills and passions themselves. We have one that is a chess player, one is a jump roper, and another one is into robotics and technology. So we have fun Fridays. And our camp is divided, well, has two components, educational side and the healthy lifestyle side. So we have field trips that go to local sites. The Fridays that we're not going on field trips, we're going to stay on the sites and do projects like gardening, where they can help stuff grow from scratch. And we have the kids engineering, that would be kite building, building Legos and other things. And we're going to end the summer camp with the graduation, which should be a really positive experience for the children to have this succeeding of 8 weeks of doing school during the summer, but doing it in a fun way. But focusing on computer literacy and interactive programs, because computer literacy is a vital life skill in the 21st century, and the sooner you learn it, the better. Technology is not going to decrease from now on. The healthy lifestyle components is, we have the healthy snacks and lunches, and we're going to teach them, the children, the importance of eating right, eating a diverse, a lot of different foods, and they can take that back to their families and their communities and hopefully have a lasting impact that way. We're raising questions in families, or saying we know why we're eating what we're eating. To actually make this a holistic approach to healthy lifestyles, we are also doing physical activities. We have recess time after lunch every day, and we incorporate a lot of the sports and other outdoors things that you can do throughout the day, because it's summer and it's nice. And one of the field trips is to the aquatic center, where they can be in the splash zone and have fun with that. This is a typical schedule. This is the general schedule, Monday through Thursdays. And for example, the reading activity could be interactive through a computer software program that reads to the child while marking each word that it's reading, so the children can follow what you're reading, what the computer is reading, but also the children can read back to the computer, and the computer identifies whether they read the word right and in the right order, and if they are following it correctly, the book that they're reading. This ensures that the children can learn at their own pace and have individual attention, even though it's from a computer. We have a good teacher-student ratio of 1 to 8, but you still can't always accommodate all children, so we're trying to mitigate this through computer literacy and software programs. The camp is also serving as a longitudinal study. We want to see if we have an impact on our community, and we're doing that by testing the children before and after and throughout the summer, and we're testing them more on the outcomes than how they are doing throughout the time, because we want them to retain knowledge. To us, it doesn't matter how they're learning in much. We have given the teachers a lot of freedom in adapting the curriculum. If they see something is working really well, or if they see something is not working, they should adapt it right away instead of using techniques that would not be working. And Gainesville City Schools is providing the data for a comparison group, and all of this will be analyzed afterwards by graduate students, and so we can use this to create the camp the year after and make this the best we can. Our budget, we have funds from Brenau and the Housing Authority. This is the cost of a camp per child. Ours is $1,199, which is lower than what we found other camps cost per child for an 8-week program. And we are including the lunch and snacks, healthy foods, but we're also, the other side of the coin is that we're helping the community gain experience. Our teachers and youth camp facilitators are community members, and for instance, the guys from Think, they would either be unemployed or underemployed during the summer, so we're providing them a healthy alternative where they can learn skills such as accountability and being role models and commit to something for an entire 8 weeks. And our education majors gain valuable experience, even though they're not getting credit or clinical for this. They're still using their skills that they learned throughout the year. This is what we're looking for. Right now we're looking for stipends for the Think guys for this summer. But beyond that, we're looking to hire a designated person to take care of these things to scale up the project. We want the project to be scaled up already from year 2 with the adaptations from the pilot project. And if we have a designated person, that would be possible. We can't do it with only the social entrepreneurs that are full-time students as well. So long-term, we're thinking that Inc. could adopt this program because part of their mission is to target low-income children. The other side is that we're considering a franchise or licensing option where other communities that have identified the same kind of problems that we have in Hall County could buy a toolbox, a package from us that has the software programs to show what is needed. We have the curriculum. We can get a better price for all the equipment, sports equipment, software that we have, so we can be having a margin that would allow us some profit and keep this going. And it wouldn't matter where in the country it is, we would be providing support, and they can implement it where they find the greatest need. We do have a marketing plan, and it includes hometown newsletters. Brenau has a wonderful system where every time you participate in something like the social entrepreneurship team, it gets sent to the newspapers and radio stations of your hometown. I'm from Denmark. A lot of this reaches Denmark. We have one from Afghanistan and one from New York. All of this reaches in different places, and it generates a lot of enthusiasm and excitement, and that then turns into more spreading the word and getting the word out there about our project. And also social media, we will be using it. We do not currently have that because we don't have the pilot project over yet, and we want to make sure that we have what we need and adapt it to that. We also have more partnerships in sight because there's so many community partners in Hall County that we could tap into, and that's what we will be looking into in the fall once we have this initial project over and we have identified the needs that we need to change and what we could do better for this to be scaled up. And if we're going to get the designated person that we're looking for funds to, they would be responsible for the PR as well. So if we don't get the funds, we do have alternatives. We could decrease the number of teachers, have a higher teacher-to-student ratio. We could borrow supplies instead of buying them. We could eliminate the field trips in the communities if that's what we need to do. We could also limit the number of children targeted because that would reduce our cost. And the graduation, we're providing traditional caps and gowns and diploma for that last day of school, and that could be eliminated as well. Thank you.